What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2. Last time I got the soul of the old dead one, who is Gravelord Nito, from the Rotten after I fought that boss twice in a row, once on his New Game Plus difficulty, with the Bonfire Ascetic, and you need Nito's soul to make this weapon I've been so enamored with all playthrough long. We also picked up our first fragrant branch of yore at the end of the gutter last time, so we're going to put that to use in just a second because it's needed to access the Shaded Woods, which is going to be a pit stop on our way to our primary destination, which is crafting that weapon using Nito's soul.
See that statue? Gives me the willies. Hey. See that statue? Hey.
Alright, nothing new to say. So like I said, we are going to be putting that fragrant branch of yore to use. If you remember from last time, what the fragrant branch does is it removes petrification status, including enemies and NPCs who are petrified, like Rosabeth here. And we'll wait for a second while she recovers from the strong incense of the of the branch, and she gets her wits about her. Alright, that's quite enough coughing. Today, Junior?
I've been petrified. Hard to speak. Give me a moment, please.
Yeah, we know it's hard. Come on, out with it.
No. I'm fine.
If you're fine, stop coughing and talk to me.
My name is Rosabeth. Thank you so much for rescuing me. Oh, you're that traveler. I still haven't thanked you. Well, I'm quite a hand at pyromancy. So perhaps you could consider this my thanks.
Woo! A prism
I was attacked
stone.
and turned to stone, I think. I owe you my life. If you had not come... Oh, I feel shameful wearing these rags. I hate to burden you further, as you've already saved my life. But just look at me. My clothes are in tatters. Do you have any clothing that you could spare? I'll take anything, whatever you don't need. I'm not particular when it comes to apparel. Anything at all will do. Just put it on the ground, and I'll change into it later.
So Rosabeth here needs some clothes. She thanks us for saving her life with a goddamn prism stone, and then asks us for handouts. We're gonna give her some anyway, because we're nice people. We're very good patrons of the world. We're philanthropists, we are. Also, I'm just doing this for an achievement. That's all you get for helping her out. You would think this would be some kind of interesting side quest, but no. I think what would be cool is if she became a summon, and how good she is, how well she performs as a summon depends on what gear you give her. But nope.
I have my very own teacher. His name is Carillion of the Fold, a famed sorcerer in Malphia, our hometown. I was fascinated by sorcery, and so, well, he's so unique, you see. When he set out for Drang Lake, I couldn't let him go alone. But we were separated, quite early on, I'm afraid. I'm rather unskilled. My lord probably ditched me. But, oddly, I'm a fast learner when it comes to pyromancy. What we're fascinated by, and we're skilled at, are not always the same thing. Why can't I just focus on what I truly enjoy? Oh dear, I shouldn't be so choosy. It's hardly my place. Thank you so much. After I change into this, I'm heading for Majula. I'm not sure where I might find my lord. But perhaps Majula is my best chance.
Okay, now, she did say that she was attacked and turned to stone right in front of this switch, so that should serve as a warning to you. This is an ambush. What I'm going to try to do is, instead of fighting all 5 or 6 of these, or however many there are... Oop, I got myself into a bad spot. And I can't escape, though. I should be able to. Yeah, here's the basilisk that probably petrified her. Oh, right! The poison. I forgot to select my poison moss before, Oh, shit. Oh, well. One sec. Okay, let's, One little thing went wrong there, and it's that I got myself poisoned. Actually, technically 2 things got wrong. I got myself poisoned, and it might happen again, because I'm dumb. Not dumb. Great. The greatest of all time. I knew that ambush was coming, too, and I still got killed by it. Okay. Yeah, I got poisoned, and I didn't have the moss selected, which I didn't pick up on until it could get me killed. Yeah, there's that basilisk that probably petrified Rosabeth, and for all I care, could do it again, because she's worthless, and all she gave me was a prism stone for saving her. Boo. She does act as a pyromancy trainer, though. She's a pyromancy trainer, and she will upgrade your pyromancy flame. And if you've been wondering what those fire seeds we've been collecting are, they are for higher level pyro flame upgrades. They're an upgrade material. She also mentioned that Carillion of the Fold was her teacher. Carillion of the Fold happens to be the asshole back in No Man's Wharf who refused to talk to me because I didn't have 9... It's 9, right? Yeah. 9 or higher intellect. I found some other stuff out about him, actually. If you have 30 in, he gives you a Northern Ritual Band +1. And the Northern Ritual Band +1 increases the number of times that you're able to cast spells. And he also moves to Majula after the Flexile Sentry is dead. So I'll probably go back and talk to him in quite a while. I do intend to actually get some decently high intellect, because one of the properties of the Crypt Blacksword is it scales with Dark. And if you remember, I explained the way the stat scaling worked a while back. Dark is a new statistic that modifies how much damage you do, but it's unique in that it's it has dual scaling, meaning it scales equally with both faith and intellect. So if you raise both of those in equal amounts, then anything with dark scaling scales with both of those. But not independently. That's one thing I have to emphasize. So if you just have like 10 intellect and 30 faith, you will not get the benefits of that 30 faith. You'll have to raise your intellect up higher. There should be a little bit more around here. I know I've missed something here. Maybe not, though. Ah, I see it. Can't believe I'm consistently making that jump. I used to have the hardest time jumping in Dark Souls, but now it seems like it's no problem. Which is weird because something about the jump feels worse in this game, but I'm having an easier time pulling it off, so maybe it's not worse. Maybe that's just in my head. Maybe I'm just crazy. There's fucking super... Oh, I was gonna say, there's super nothing in here. Ah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, so we are gonna now head our way into the Shaded Woods. We have a couple of ambushes coming up before we get into the meaty part of this level, and the part that drives me insane. Let's see. Let's make sure I don't get poisoned. You know, get up. They seem to have a little bit of invincibility while they are knocked down. lost my train of thought. Oh, I probably should have just fought the ambush off of 5 of those guys. Instead of trying to be flashy and run away from them and kind of run in circles around the room, doing a little ollie shuffle. Because the R2 attack on the greatsword, this spinning attack that I love so much, probably could have cleared them out no problem. At the very least, it would have almost one-shotted all of them, and it would have knocked all of them down. But, what are you gonna do? Hindsight's 20/20. See those invincibility frames coming back to haunt me. Oh yeah, the armor I'm wearing is changed off camera between episodes. That's because off camera I shopped a little bit at the armorer in Majula, the one who is directly opposite the room that Shalqua is in. And when you shop at him, his inventory increases. If you spend a couple of thousand souls at him, he eventually starts stocking some higher level armor. And eventually, if you spend, I think, 16,000... No, 16,000 souls. If you go to him and you spend 16,000 souls, and then you go to him again and you have no souls in your inventory, he gives you that armor I was talking about before, the one that increases your equipment burden and is invisible. If you spend enough souls at him, I think it's 15,000, then he actually, instead of becoming the meek armorer that we've met, who is kind of not very confident in his ability to make a living off of selling his wares here in Majula, he actually becomes very, very arrogant. And he will also eventually start stocking boss armor, much like Domhnall of Xena did in Dark Souls 1. Unfortunately, it feels like there's a lot less boss armor in general, and I don't like the boss armor as much, but hey, at least we can wear the Elite Knight armor, which is radical looking. This pathway up here, there are 3 ways this branches out. One of them leads to... not that one. The fog one is where we want to go. The other 2 paths are to Aldia's Keep and the Shrine of Winter. The Shrine of Winter will take us to Drangleic Castle, or Dranglake Castle, which is a late game area we'll visit once all 4 Great Souls are in our possession. And the other path, Aldia's Keep, is one of the last areas of the game, which will only... Is this the old Sun Ring? Yeah. Oh, shit. Aldia's Keep is one of the last areas of the game, and it's only going to open up to us once we get the King's Seal, which is a ring that opens up certain doors around the world. I think we saw one of them after I killed... Oh no, it was during the revisit to the Forest of Fallen Giants. It's close to the Ring of Restoration. It opens those types of doors up, but we don't have that ring yet, so we don't even have access to that. By the way, there is another way to get into the Shrine of Winter without fighting any of the major 4 bosses, but I'll talk about that much later on once I'll burn that bridge once we come to it. So we are right now, they should erect a giant sign at the beginning of this section of the level that just says, "Welcome to Silent Hill," or better yet, welcome to the Forest of Invisible Assholes, because it is full of them. There's a ring that I missed and a pathway that leads to an NPC with a minor quest. The ring I don't really care about that much. I can't even remember what it is really. If you hug the right wall, you'll be totally safe, though. The right wall leads you to the Ring of the Old Sun, which, the way that ring works is when you take enough damage, it causes an orb to spawn on your person, like, at your center, and that orb, after a moment or 2, will explode and do, it's a percentage of your life and damage, so it hits pretty hard. It's a pretty good ring. It breaks pretty easily, though. The other ring that we picked up along that path, hugging the right wall, was the Chloranthy Ring +1. Shit, don't want to get cursed. Also, I know around here somewhere, I don't know how to get to it, but there is a Black Knight halberd. Which is very interesting, that there is Black Knight gear in the game. I guess I'll speculate on that a little bit later once I actually pick some of it up and I can show the item descriptions. Real quick, though, I'm going to head back to Majula because I have actually forgotten something. There is a ring that I need before I progress further into the level called the Ring of Whispers. I talked about this ring last time while I was in the gutter. And what the ring will allow me to do is to talk to an NPC further into the level. It's a little bit like how the old witch's ring worked in the first game.
Nothing suited.
Let's see. Just barely didn't have enough souls to get it. That should put me over, though.
You do have a time.
Alright. Sell me your wares. There we go, 5,800. Just barely didn't have enough.
Satisfied?
Okay, now I have the Ring of Whispers. We can get this show on the road. So there's a pit further on in the level with a locked door. And behind that door, I'm also going to upgrade my flask real quick. Behind that door is Ornifex, the NPC I need to free in order to trade Nito's soul to in order to get my weapon. But the enemy with the key is petrified right now. And I used my only fragrant branch getting to the Shaded Woods in the first place. But I am not out of luck. There's an NPC that we're about to meet in a few moments who has a quest for us to kill his wife, who also happens to be the boss of the area. And the reward for doing that for him is yet another fragrant branch of yore. So first, we'll kill the boss of the area, who is the Scorpion Queen. And then we'll go back to him and get the fragrant branch of yore from him. And then we will free Ornifex and move on to Brightstone Cove. Also, do not leave those orbs that are smoking with, I don't know, cursed miasma. Don't leave those unattended. Destroy those as soon as possible, because when you get in close proximity... Oh, I pulled too many of these. When you get in close proximity to them... Shit. They build up your curse meter rapidly. And you can get cursed multiple times in a row, no problem. I clutched it out for most of those and dodged most of those hits, but the last one nicked me. That's a hard nick, too. That's about half my health. That's fine, though. We'll get those nice and cleared out. Let's go and equip something a little bit quicker for this. Just because I don't want the swing speed slowing me down. Oh, I rolled right past it. Yeah, you can't just roll through them. They're not, like... Other than the fact that they cause you to become cursed, they don't really do anything special. They do laugh and creep me out. That's... I guess that qualifies them as being special. Alright. Yeah, and Can I get in through here? No. Even though it looks big enough. Oh, there's... I think down here there are 2 of these, so I'm almost definitely going to get cursed by the... Yeah. I got cursed by the one on the lower floor. Just fuck your pots. Never giving me rupees. Yeah, and as you can see, the curse buildup does go through floors, so you're not safe, even if you're a floor above or below the vase, the urn, the phylactery, the I'm running out of adjectives The pot. How is pot not the first thing I pull? Like, vase, urn, phylactery, pot, not in my vocabulary. Oh shit, I let the lizard get away. That wouldn't have happened if I had my greatsword out, but no big deal. Jump up here. Can I jump across this one too? Be a cool guy? Now I have to circle around? Yeah. What you got for me, chest? The iron ones I don't think can ever have a mimic dark side. Nice. Oh, dark is the property I was just talking about too. So I'll equip my Ring of Whispers and we will talk to this dude who straight up looks like he's about to murder us, who I think his name is Man-Scorpion Tark.
Human, are we? This is no place for you. Be gone. Are you not afraid of me? Humans rarely come here. Those who do turn back when they see me, or make an attempt on my life. But you are different. We once had a master. He created us long, long ago. But he was born with a fatal flaw. He resented those who had what he lacked and became fully mired in hatred. Eventually, he drove himself mad. It was at the peak of this madness that he conjured up we strange creatures. Our master was a tragically lonely soul. Eventually, his solitude eroded his very reason. In the end, he never understood what it was that he truly lacked. Nobody knows when we were born, or where our master has gone. The only ones who even speak a human tongue are myself and my better half. I wish to ask a favor of you. I want you to kill my betrothed. Once, I always found her at my side. But as time went on, things went awry. She became violent, raging uncontrollably. Eventually, she came after me. And we have been locked in combat ever since. We seem to be at a standstill. The wounds we exchange are never lethal. I was born of my master's madness. Perhaps this is some curse. I will be sure to assist you in return. The past is a distant fog. My name was Tark. That is all that I remember. The past is my name was
I never picked up on it before, but that phrase is kind of interesting. The past is a distant fog. I feel something there in those words, but can't quite think well enough right now to put it together. That's something to think on, though. The past is a distant fog. Ooh. This golden lion warrior? I believe he's a lion. Some of them look way more like minotaurs. He's a little bit more buff than other ones, so I'm going to try to be a little bit more careful about him. This is one of the reasons I switched back to the Hade sword, because I don't want to maybe risk the very long swing time of the great sword getting me killed. So Man-Scorpion Tark back there wants us to kill his wife, Scorpioness Najka, who I talked about earlier. She's the boss of the level. We'll be seeing her soon. There's another petrified lion back here. That's not the one that you want to use the Fragrant Branch on if you want the Fang Key to free Ornifex. That is a different petrified lion warrior at a different point in the level. I'll show that off eventually. Maybe not this episode, because that might run too long, but definitely next time, if not this one. And Man Scorpion Tark and his wife appear to be more experiments of Aldea. Remember, we also ran into that giant ant queen in the gutter who's spewing corrosive mist. That's going to be a reoccurring theme with Aldea's experimentations, is corrosion and corrosive acid and mist and all sorts of nastiness in that vein. Okay. Let's see, I'm not going to pull the guy in the distance, but just to be careful, I'll try to pull the basilisk back here. Oh, right. Vase. Urn. And the giant bass... Oh, wait, there's another one behind me. I have to be careful not to get cursed again. This giant basilisk is not a big deal. Just block his hit. His frontal hit. It hits quite a ways behind him, too, so you want to be careful. I think he also has a tail whip, but he didn't use it. Other than that, he's really predictable. Don't worry too much about him. Don't sweat it. So, one thing I want to emphasize while I'm taking care of this guy, I was just talking about the experiments of Duke Aldea, who went mad and started doing, again, twisted experiments. That sounds very, very familiar, doesn't it? I mean, we already got the soul of Gravelord Nito, and this guy does sound somewhat similar to someone or something we've encountered before. Little bit of a tease for Brightstone Cove coming up after the Shaded Woods is done. I can't wait, I can't wait. We're getting into the good stuff now, the good lore, the good juicy bits. Speaking of which, I've gone like a half hour and forgot to bring up something that I teased at the end of last episode. I wanted to talk about the soul we picked up from the Rotten, from New Game Plus Rotten. The soul of the old dead one, Gravelord Nito, the first of the dead. Okay, so remember last episode when I said that Vendrick incited a war with the Giants by stealing from them something very precious to them? I speculated that what he might have stolen could have been the Lord Vessel, among other possibilities, but I'm going with that right now because I was already thinking of something along those lines, like it might have been the Lord Vessel. I had already been thinking about that, and then I saw this post on Reddit the other day by, I think his name is Scavola. I hope I'm getting that right. Again, I'll give proper credit and link to the post. And it fleshed out the theory so well that I've become really keen on it. I'm really, really digging this theory right now. Basically, it postulates that Vendrick stole the Lord Vessel, or at least the Lord Souls from it, and he distributed the 4 Lord Souls to 4 trusted allies. Seath's bequeathed Lord Soul, the fragment of Gwyn's soul that Seath possessed, went to Duke Aldea, who teasers over, spoilers. Yeah, supposedly Seath's part of the soul went to the Duke, Vendrick's brother. Gwyn's, or the 4 Kings fragmented soul, went to the Iron King, who we haven't met yet. Also, all the slurm around here, that's all corrosive, don't step in it, don't break your armor. Also, avoid all of the basilisks hunting you down. So yeah, we haven't met the Iron King yet. He's probably going to be the 4th of the 4 great souls that we fight. The Witch of Izalith's soul went to the Warden of the Bastille, who I'll talk about in a little bit, because we might be visiting that. Well, we might. Yeah, we will be visiting that pretty soon. And the soul of Gravelord Nito, the hot button one, might have gone to Saint Harvel, who we talked about a little bit last time. I think that Saint Harvel is probably the skeleton, or who is hanging out near the drop down at the end of the Grave of Saints. I think that might have been Saint Harvel. So I think that Lord Vendrick gave the soul of Gravelord Nito, who we stole from the Lord Vessel, to Harvel. And Harvel was buried in the Grave of Saints. His tomb was desecrated, and is by maybe grave robbers. The Lord's soul fell out into that hole, the same hole that we traversed to get down into the gutter in the Black Gulch. And it was taken by the swampy tides of the gutter in the Black Gulch, maybe by some inhabitant, to where the Rotten lied. And the part of this theory that I really like is the idea that the souls, the Lord souls, retained imprints of their former owners' memories and personalities, which caused changes in the new owners. Like how Duke Aldia, I keep switching between pronunciations, how he became obsessed with immortality and experimentation like the Duke Seath. Izalith and the Warden in the First Flame, there's a lot going on with that I can't wait to get into. I won't spoil too much of that right now. The Iron King wanted to create a light that would burn forever. And Harvel, buried in the Grave of Saints, I don't think he directly was affected. I think he had his coffin open, though, and like I said, the soul of Gravelord Nito made its way down into the Black Gulch, into the area where we fought the Rotten. And remember, Nito was made of other skeletons. The Rotten is a monster made of discarded corpses, which fuse together. And you see the Rotten trying to put back together one of those poison-spitting statues. I think those are part of Nito's death and disease motif. I'm really, really in love with that theory. So now, that one petrified lion warrior back there, we need the fragrant branch that we'll get as a completion reward for completing Man-Scorpion Tark's quest to kill his wife. We'll get a fragrant branch from him, then we'll be able to unpetrify that statue, and unpetrify that NPC, that lion warrior. And right behind that lion warrior is a chest that contains another fragrant branch. That branch is the branch that we will use in order to undo the petrification on the other lion warrior who has the Fang key that will unlock Ornifex. Ornifex, by the way, is right behind that door next to where we fought the 4 basilisks in the pit. The pit with all the corrosive slurm. Actually, I can't even remember if slurm wasn't slurm green? I think this is 2 games now in a row where I've gotten the color wrong. My streaming DMC Devil May Cry, I kept calling the orange stuff slurm too. Yeah, I thought slurm was green. Oh well, we'll still call it slurm. Continuity be damned. I have to learn the Futurama lore better. Anyway, let's make our way onto the boss fight. There was one thing, I went into that telling myself there's one thing that can go wrong in this fight, and that one thing went wrong. Last fight, I rolled too early to avoid her grab attack, and you can tell when she's about to use it because she cocks her tail back. When she does that, she's either going to plunge both of her stingers into the ground, one after the other, or she's going to use both at once, which is the grab attack. When she pierces you with her stinger, she inflicts toxic on you. I tried to go into my inventory to grab a Divine Blessing to cure it, but she didn't lay off the pressure, and I couldn't heal it and remove the toxic. So this is a fight that can be pretty challenging, or as you're seeing now, it can also be exploited to be ludicrously easy depending on how you position yourself. Like if you're doing what I'm doing as a melee character, this fight is actually, I think, a little bit harder as a ranged character. But if you're melee and you cling to her back legs, you can force her to continuously use 2 very easy to avoid attacks. When she burrows into the ground here like this, get to one of the stone platforms around the room, like the steps right there. I think the idea is... I think this is intentional. I think the idea is that she cannot burrow up underneath the stone. So you will avoid her burrowing up underneath you and doing damage. That's the fight, though. Pretty easy fight. You can cut both of her tails off, just like the Rotten's arm, which I forgot to mention. The Rotten regenerates his arm. Also forgot to mention that. Up there is an item that you cannot access on your own. You have to have Najka use one of her attacks to destroy the branch, but it doesn't really matter because all you get out of doing that is you get a flame butterfly, which what flame butterflies do is they are an autonomous source of fuel for your torch, or ignition for your torch is what I meant to say. So you don't have to actually go back to the bonfire or a pre-lit sconce in order to light your torch up if you have flame butterflies. Not a big important item, really. Alright, so that's going to do it for now. Next time we will go about freeing artifacts and making our way into the Brightstone Cove, where we have 2 boss fights, one of which is going to be our next major soul in our next primal bonfire. And we'll get to talk a little bit about Seath next time, too. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy, have a good one.